Hey y'all, it's me, Miss Phil, and I'm here for another day of learning about our senses. We are on day 3 of week 6. Remember, this is 6 in sign language for what we're going to learn about today. And today, we're going to learn about 2 of our senses at one time because they work together like partners. And they are our sense of smell and our taste. So, our sense of taste and our sense of smell are 2 different things, but they work together. It's kind of like our hands, right? We have 2 different hands, but they work together to do the same kind of stuff. Did you know that when you taste something, like when you eat it and put it in your mouth, most of the reason why you could taste it is because of how it smells and what we take in through our nose. Isn't that kind of crazy? So let's break this down one sense at a time, even though they work together. Have you ever really looked at your tongue? On there are thousands and thousands of things, little bumps that we call taste buds. Those little teeny tiny bumps on our tongue help us do a couple of things. Number 1, it helps us to grip and grab food. Like if you were licking an ice cream cone, I wish I had an ice cream cone right now. But if you were licking one, it helps you actually get that ice cream from the cone to your mouth, which is awesome. And then it also, those taste buds, they help us to taste the different types of flavors that we have in that ice cream too. Did you know that we have 5 different basic tastes that we can taste? Sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami, which basically just means savory. So think like meat. And all those thousands of taste buds on our tongue help us taste them. So anyway, when we put something in our mouth, our taste buds send signals through nerves up to our brain to tell us which one of those tastes it kind of tastes like. And it could be a combination, right? You can have sweet and salty, like a Sour Patch Kid. Sour first, then sweet. So it just depends on what you're eating. But like I've mentioned before, our nose plays just as big of a part as our mouth when it comes to tasting and eating foods. So let's learn about our sense of smell. There are over 20,000 different types of smells that you can smell out there. That's a lot. But we have these tiny little receptors on the insides of our nose that help us figure out which one it is that we're smelling. And just a fun fact, did you know that dogs' sense of smell is over 100,000 times better than ours? That's incredible. So when we smell something, those receptors that are inside of our nose, it sends a signal through our nerves up to our brain, and it kind of tells us what it smells like. And it also gives us an idea of what it kind of tastes like. And they work together, our smell and our taste, send signals up to our brain to tell us what it is that we're eating. And just like with our sense of touch that we learned about yesterday, our sense of smell and even our sense of taste help us know when things might be dangerous. Like if you smell smoke, that might mean that something's on fire and you have to get out of there, right? Sometimes we taste something that just doesn't taste right, like sour milk. How many of you have ever tasted sour milk? It's gross. But we know that we probably shouldn't have that because it's not good for us. So our sense of taste and our sense of smell help us to know when things are safe or not. So if we didn't have our sense of taste or our sense of smell, and by the way, another fun fact, our sense of smell is called our olfactory sense, not old factory, olfactory, and that just means smelling, but that's a cool word to know. But they work together to help us eat delicious foods. Chipotle. Here's a little illustration of what I was talking about. When you put food in your mouth, these little receptors, either some taste buds right here, they taste the food and it comes up and it goes up here to the signal in our brain. When we smell something, it goes into our nose. Here are the sensors right there. They send signals into the brain and it helps us to understand what we're eating or smelling. Here's another cool fact. Did you know that your sense of smell and taste are linked in your brain to memories? Which is really awesome if you think about it. Miss Phil just had this experience today. I opened something up that had crayons in it, and I smelled those crayons, and it reminded me of when I was little and I would color every day for like 30 minutes. And the smell just made me think of back when I was a kid. So that's really awesome that our sense of smell and our sense of taste help us remember things from when we were younger. So that's our lesson for today. We learned about our sense of taste and our sense of smell, or our olfactory sense, and how they work together to help us to identify the different types of smells and tastes that we have out there. And there's a lot of them. So it's really cool how they work together and then send signals to our brain to help us understand what it is that we're eating or tasting or smelling. And remember, they also help us know when we might be in danger or are not eating something that's good for us. So we should thank our sense of taste and our sense of smell for being awesome and helping us not only to know when things are not safe, but also for letting us enjoy delicious things like Chipotle. This is so good every time. Thanks for joining me, Miss Phil, for another day of learning about our senses. Tomorrow I'll come back and we'll learn about something else. But until then, smell you later.